Hello Internet, it's Zeg and Zeg alone here, playing a game that there's no way I could get Rob in to make a video of. It's the hotly awaited Factorio 0.15 patch. And you may notice that I'm standing in a semi-built base with a save file of about 3 hours of playtime. And that's because the first recording got lost in a file corruption incident, so we're just going to carry on from here, I guess. Not that the first 3 hours was all that interesting. If we're talking about new stuff, the main thing is this, the new version of boilers. They're 2x3 now, and the ratio of boilers to steam engines is exactly 1 boiler to 2 steam engines. And they have like a pass-through, I guess, like the steam engines do for the steam, and the boilers have pass-through for water. I suppose they always had pass-through for water, that's not exactly saying anything. The water turns into steam now instead of just becoming hot, is basically what I'm saying. And that's really all that's changed up to this point, I guess. I've also got the higher res graphics turned on, which is, you can see quite well on the steam engines compared to like the character model that hasn't been done yet, or the inserters. And yeah, apart from that, the only other thing that I've seen that's particularly different so far is the map. It's got all these fancy options for turning on and off overlays, and you can zoom into a real-time world view on the map, which is, I find, slightly weird. I mean, I guess it sort of makes sense, although I feel like it should be locked behind a technology to be able to literally see, like, motion in the world when you're zoomed in from the map. That seems like a bit powerful for the early game, I guess. I don't know. And I also find it awkward because I keep trying to zoom in further than this on the pixel map, because I want to see, like, the pixel version of the map closer, but you can't any longer. It keeps putting me off. So there's that. And the reason I stopped playing after 3 hours, coincidentally, what with the file corruption, but also because this is just where I was about to start doing something slightly new. Because if we go into the new list of technologies, well, it's not exactly a new list, new science packs, some new techs, I was wanting to start thinking about researching things like grenade damage. Because if we go back to the map, you can see that the only oil patches are right here. Well, the only ones that I can see so far. Directly under an alien nest, and even if there are other ones in an area that I haven't explored yet, they're very likely to be under aliens as well, because if they're that far away. So I'm going to have to kill some aliens to get to oil, which means I'm going to not have oil technologies available for killing aliens, which means more than likely I'm going to need to use quite a few grenades. But grenade damage research now takes the new military science pack, as does past level 3 of the damage and past level 4 of shooting speed. So I need to start making military science, and military science is made of piercing rounds, grenades, and gun turrets, and that's like a lot of resources. If you compare Science Pack 2, which is the equivalent of 5.5 iron and 1.5 copper, military science, 49 iron, 15 copper, 1 steel, and 10 coal. That's a lot of resources. I mean, it makes 2, so I guess it's like half those numbers, technically. But that's still quite a lot. And also, grenades and gun turrets take 8 seconds to craft each, so that's going to require a lot of factories to keep up a reasonable production. But the other reason I hadn't done that yet is because what I have built so far is this, my traditional red-green science setup that I used in early games. And usually what I'd do is once I needed blue science, I'd manually feed blue science in for the first few techs, usually until advanced oil processing and some of the robot stuff was done. And then I'd demolish all this and just build a proper lab. But if I want to do military tech at this point, I'm going to need to slightly adjust this. I think what I'll probably do is just take the whole green line, take everything on the bottom half of this shift it down 2 squares and use long inserters for the green science, and then have another belt that runs under the inserters along the middle, and that will probably be adequate. And then I'll do the military science on this side of the little bus. So that seems logical. And that's it, more or less. That's all we need to cover in this intro to this game that's already running. Yeah, and I was going to have quite a lot of sped up footage in the other version. I mean, it was a 3-hour long game, and I was only planning on making about an hour of it real time, and then the rest of it sped up, and that will probably still happen. Probably immediately after I've finished talking. Commence sped up footage now. Okay, and we're back. After only 15 minutes of sped up footage, probably even less than that. But I thought, since this was the actual new thing, I should probably record this in real time rather than just speeding through it. So, in order to make military science, we're going to need a little bit of a factory. It's 2 in 10, which makes it the same speed as Science Pack 1. And since I'm lazy and I'm just doing a 1-to-1 ratio at the moment, may as well stick with that. So we'll do 5 factories making military science, although there'll be assembly machine 2, so that's slightly faster. Screw it, that'll probably do. So we want 5 factories doing military science 2. We want basically a 1-to-1 ratio for grenades and gun turrets, because those take 8 seconds each, and it takes 10 to do the pack, so that's 5 gun turret factories, 5 grenade factories. Piercing rounds is 1 in 3. Yeah, 1 in 3, so that will take 2 factories more or less, and then 1 factory for regular bullets, because those are 1 in 1. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense, I think. Okay, so this is the belt where the science is going to go. So if we go with, let's leave them 1 square space because it's just looks nicer for now. No, not that. Okay, so military science. And we're going to need a belt bringing in the piercing ammo. Well, if we're going to do a 1-to-1 ratio for the grenades and the guns, we're going to need to go north-south on that. So probably you're going to want one set down here, the other set up here, and then the belt for the piercing ammo going through the middle. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Probably make more sense to make the ammo at this side, and then rather than, because otherwise I think I'm probably going to do it down here and then run it in the back, although you do need quite a lot of ammo for guns, and I'm not going to get to lasers anytime soon if I have to get oil before that. Okay, so what are the gun turrets made of? Gears, copper, iron. And grenades are just iron and coal, I think. Yes. So we'll do grenades up the top, since I can just pull the coal out of the smelter line. Gun turrets down the bottom. Oh wait, those need to go in blue factories. It might be worth upgrading the grenades to blue factories, A, so they keep up, but also because I'm going to just want some grenades for myself. In fact, it might even be worth not having the grenades go on a belt, so I can put the excess on into a chest, maybe? Yeah. Maybe. Because then I could flip it. Or I could put the grenades onto the same belt as the ammo and just have it take it off at the end. That would still work. Yeah, that'll probably be fine. Alright, so coal and iron. On probably 2 separate belts. Make that one the iron, make that one the coal. Okay. And we're going to want something like near on this side and far on that side. 8 seconds needs 10, so yeah, and regular inserters should be fast enough. And I mean, these are half-speed factories anyway, so they definitely will be. And this belt will go along here, and a chest at the end, and we'll just dump extra grenades in there. So we may as well get those going right now, since I'm going to want extra grenades for myself at some point. I should pick up some more cogs. Oh, I don't actually have a chest for those at the moment. Should probably make one. Also, I guess I should research some more regular science stuff. I haven't researched solar panels yet. Where would be a logical place to just steal some cogs off of? Let's just do it here. Like a couple of stacks. And a filter inserter. Probably only need like, let's say 2 stacks of grenades. That's probably still way too many, but power this all. Oh, I forgot that I'd already researched the bigger electric poles. It makes more sense to put them on this side, apart from that last one. Okay, that's grenades underway. Now we're looking for turrets. So gears, copper and iron. Speaking of gears, right, what proportions are these? 10, 10, 20? Well, since I'm still in an extremely lazy layout, I might as well just build like just straight across. Just put a factory there and then have iron in the middle and copper go up this side. Or that side? No, this side. Things are becoming kind of excessive at this point. And then where am I going to make the ammo? Probably just on the end of this line, the copper and I guess the steel has to come over here too, but that'll probably be fine. I get the feeling that I'm not going to have enough production for this, but you know, we'll do what we can. I mean, even my coal production doesn't look like it's enough to keep up with the grenades. Might have to build some more coal mines. Because I do only have 4.5. I need more iron. this last one will just output into a chest for now. Right, hopefully that will be enough. Oh, I've already got 7. What's the stack size of grenades now? Well, it looks like it's more than 50. Let's maybe only do 1 extra stack. Wait, that's not quite right, is it? Because I need inserters on this side. It's not exactly the neatest layout, but I'm sure it'll be fine. So it's iron on top. Okay. That seems to make sense so far. So I'm going to need another set of inserters. Solar energy's done. Let's do... well, I guess engine. Get that out of the way. Start working towards trains. Right, that should be everything that we need for guns. I'm probably going to need some bigger power poles for this. Yeah, I absolutely do not have enough iron output. Not even close. Got enough ore to run those, but I'm going to need another set probably. Which is inconvenient because as usual I've accidentally closed myself in. I suppose I can just build another set of iron smelters over this end and just combine the belts here, maybe. Coal production still not quite high enough, not by a long shot. In fact, engines are done. Well, may as well research oil processing. Not going to be using that for a good long time though. So turrets are indeed getting made, sort of, a bit. So the only thing that's left to do is ammo, which I said I should need about 2 factories for. Two blue factories. So it should probably be something like those there and this one like that, probably. That needs just iron, doesn't it? I suppose we can run the steel up here, maybe? Or here? Rather than going around the bottom. No, actually it might be a better idea to, instead of doing this, change this to an underground belt. Have the iron come down this way. Because then that leaves space for the steel to go there, I think. Not if you don't want that to join up. Let's shift it 1 square foot. Wait, no, can't do that. Logistics 2, not that I'm going to use that for a while as well. You know, instead of doing this, maybe I should flip it round. We'll have it with the regular ammo up the top of here, coming off this iron line. Because then that would mean that I can output the piercing ammo directly onto the top of this belt. Hopefully. Something like that. And then we can just run the copper and the steel. Not exactly an entirely elegant solution, but it fits. And it's conveniently even the right way round for the speed, because you need more copper than you do steel. Okay. Okay, military science is now being produced at a not particularly fast rate. So let's just put the outputs. And then over here put the inputs. And now it'll just be time to extend the iron production fairly significantly. Which means it's time to go back to sped up footage. Swoosh. Okay, here we are back again after about an hour of game time on this recording, not since I was last talking. As you can see, even after I doubled iron throughput, really only the first two factories are getting enough. Because, I mean, 20 iron per gun is a lot of iron. So, most of this factory is highly unnecessary, but, you know, it's there. Eventually, maybe I'll add a third one, potentially. I'll probably need another line of steam engines. But the important thing that I've seen now is there's a little bit of oil under these alien bases down here, which is much easier to get to rather than having to go all the way up here and round. So I was thinking about what I want to do in terms of immediate expansion. Because also, it's usually a good idea to try and cut the alien expansions off as early as possible. Claim as much of your starting area as possible, basically. So I was thinking maybe we could think about a wall to cover this little bit, and then here, and then in this top corner, block that off, and then that would claim that entire northern peninsula. And then assuming that the land gets any thinner down here, probably a wall around the oil deposit down there, so I'll only have to kill a few alien bases, and then maybe just from my current wall just cut straight down on this side, leave the aliens to the desert. I mean, could go. There's a northern attack squad, so they've probably already expanded up here. That's going to suck. Probably could cut it off almost all the way up here, potentially. So yeah, the more cutting off that I can do with less killing alien bases early on, probably the better. So let's get organised to go and do some fighting, starting with a save. So what am I going to need? I'm going to need a couple of guns so that I can build a defensive position to fall back onto. I'm going to need a bunch of extra ammo. I'm going to need the grenades. I'm carrying some walls, aren't I? No, I'm not carrying any walls. Oh yeah, and I also wanted to experiment with this. Seeing about using the fancy new blueprints. Because there was talk at some point about having blueprints be deployed automatically if you're standing next to them. Because there's been a lot of discussion about whether early game should have some kind of like short-range automated construction robot type deal. So I might as well see whether that made it in or not. But regardless, I'll just make a little blueprint of this anyway. Right, yep, fine. Evidently the deconstruction didn't. Nope. No man-powered automatic construction. Well, that's fair enough. It's still not really a problem. Okay. So I'm going to need quite a lot more wall and guns now that I think about it, because I'm going to actually be building a wall. Just grab all those walls. Grenade damage 2 is just about to finish off these only 2 labs that have gun science. Okay, good. Probably going to want the fluid wagon, I imagine. Okay, so let's do the northern side first, because if they have expanded, I want to eliminate that and then very quickly seal all that off. Hopefully. So where did those aliens come from? Just like straight up here somewhere. I'm not seeing... Oh, wait, there they are. Oh, it's only a singular base. Oh no, wait, there's another little one over to the left. Yeah, they've been pretty busy up here by the looks of it. So let's see how well just guns will take these guys out. Okay, well that still works well enough for small amounts of enemies. What about grenades? Okay, we're good. Let's get up here and build some kind of wall. If I can find out where amongst all these trees the actual join is. Okay, it's the leftmost bit. Just a singular gun for this should be enough. We'll give it maybe 25 ammo because I don't expect there'll be much action on that side. What about you guys? I mean, if this is a peninsula, I won't even have to wall off this side, I can just kill them. That's Fluid Wagon. Keep researching anything that I can that's just red and green. It's not quite a peninsula. Oh, or is it? No, it is. Okay, so let's kill these guys as well then. Well, that makes this wall off a little easier. Oh, this forest sucks. So many trees. Get out of the way. I'll try and wiggle my way through it. Okay, good. So it looks like it was those northern bases expanded downwards rather than this one on this side, because there don't seem to be any bases on this side of this bit of map. Do I really need to kill these guys? I mean, I could just wall it off. It would be a fairly close wall though. Yeah, let's just do that. Drop a couple of guns. Okay, so that should be the northern side all done. We might want to drop a temporary wall down the south edge just to make sure nothing expands upwards. And also just go over here anyway to make sure nothing already has expanded upwards. Okay, it's looking clear so far. So let's build a real quick extension off the bottom of my base wall down to this little sticky out bit of water to stop anything expanding out to the desert this way. Good. Have I scanned any more of that world, was it yet? Not yet. So I'm going to just run down there and see what's up before I start interfering with all these aliens. In fact, it might even be worth just closing them in. I don't really have enough walls to do that. Squeeze through the middle of the aggro zone. Oh, the coastline's curving in a little bit. Okay, that's a corner. So it looks like just beyond this oil deposit there's a nice thin bit of land. Yeah, that'll work. Closing that copper deposit as well, not that I'm lacking in copper for quite a long time. Okay, let's clear all this stuff out. Okay, there are some enemies like quite close past this though. Where is the oil deposit exactly? I mean, it's still a tiny oil deposit. Maybe I'll go inwards instead of outwards and ignore those. It's probably safer. This is all very temporary stuff anyway. I just need some amount of oil so I can start getting a bunch of stuff that will make expanding a lot easier. I've run out of wool. That's inconvenient. Let's just throw down some guns vaguely over here. Yeah, that'll do for coverage. Right, well, I'll clear out the rest of the aliens on my way back up to get the rest of the wall. I've only got 21 grenades left too, so I might have to just shoot some of them. Research something else. So what's blue science made of now? Advanced circuits, engine units, assembling machine ones. So it's still plastic. Engine units is steel. And assembling machines is just iron. I suppose I should start heading for the flamethrower, because that's always useful as well. Although apparently it's been modified so that the alien bases have some resistance to fire rather than zero resistance to fire, which is what made the flamethrower so overpowered previously. Okay, just one more group to go. Okay, that should be it. Just need to finish up that wall and that'll pretty much be my entire base area until oil production gets online. Maybe I should grab a couple more guns as well, just to make sure I've got a proper amount of coverage. Right, let's finish up this, and then we'll call it a video. Gonna need at least one more gun down here. That could go a little bit further down actually. I appreciate that they put gun range on the map, but it would be nice if you could have it so it showed you the range of all the guns on the screen when you're placing another gun, just on the normal view. Yep, okay. That's good enough. Right, so that's the end of this video. I imagine that I'll probably make another video, assuming that I continue recording, which I probably will. We'll make this a series, much to Rob's displeasure, I'm sure. Put some social stuff on the screen, me, because I'm going to be editing this too. And then I don't remember any of the social stuff. happysalad.net is our website, where there is a podcast where we talk about video games for at least 2 hours every fortnight. It's a lot of content, because it's been going on for 7 seasons, or 8 seasons. And there's probably a Twitter and a Facebook on there, but I have no idea what those are. I've already forgotten, because Rob normally does the outros and I don't pay attention. But they're on the screen in word form for you to look at with your eyes. And that's it. See you in the next video. Bye. Checking the mic. Warp.